This is the first time in over 50 years the public has had a glimpse inside this home. This mansion is one of the last architecturally significant townhouses that's currently available for private ownership in New York City, with a history rivaling any notable residence in the United States. Now, as the story goes, the home was originally built by wealthy Dutch owners in Amsterdam in the 17th century, over 400 years ago. Then, if you can believe this, the home was then dismantled and shipped across the Atlantic Ocean to the Upper West Side in 1845. So while this is extremely rare, I've actually heard of this before, with freestanding stone masonry structures being built and then disassembled only to be moved and reassembled. But to ship this across the Atlantic Ocean in 1845? As if this story wasn't a tall tale enough, then apparently in 1910, it was relocated again from the Upper West Side to Gramercy Park, the neighborhood where we're currently standing. Very interesting with a lot of these older houses in the city. The true history is extremely hard to find, and this is what I was able to dig up from the internet, but also from the listing agent himself. Very peculiar history, this home. So from the street, this is one of the most imposing houses on the block as far as the feeling. The facade, like I mentioned, is that Flemish theme as far as the actual architectural style. It is Gothic. As far as the area in the neighborhood, we're in Gramercy Park. Very quiet. It is very high-end. But if you look at the architecture of the homes in the neighborhood, they're all old world. And this, I believe, is one of the oldest. Even if you look at some of the details on the limestoning, you can see how weathered away it is. Yeah, this is a one of one. Let's head inside. And right from the sidewalk, this is the first unique element. So typically you would walk up into a townhouse. We're walking down. So right from the street, you have those Gothic themes. Look at this limestone arch here. Check this out. Wrought iron front door gate. They have a ring camera, but you'll see later in the tour, there's a 1980s old telephone video camera that I'll show you later. One theme throughout the house is the use of the carvings on the mahogany. Here we have a coat of arms with 2 stars with the stripe dividing it. There's actually a wasp on either side as well. I'm not sure the significance of that. Again, comment down below if you are a historian or an architect, and you can add some info in the comments here. Well, this has got some weight to him. Welcome into the Gothic townhouse. If you walk forward, we'll give you a quick peek of what's to come. Very quick, that's all you're gonna see. I wanted to start this tour in detail with the entry here. You get another look at the other side of the door. This whole entryway is limestone, and you can see that it is very, very weathered and aged. And in my opinion, that's a cool thing. If you are buying this house, you are a history buff, you're an old soul, you're not looking for a white box, and details like the cracks in the limestone, in my opinion, that just gives it that rooting in history, if you know what I mean. In the entryway right off to my side here, this is a powder room. I have a little peek in here, and even if you look down below the tiling, you can tell just by the tiling how smooth they are, that they are so weathered by feet walking over them for hundreds of years at this point. From the foyer, this is where it gets very interesting. So there's a separate entrance for the staff, and I'll actually show you back out on the street view here. So again, it's a sunken entrance going below street level, which back in the day, I'll head on inside, this would be the entrance for the team maintaining your home. And for a home like this, in that time period, you would have 5 to 10 people living in your house with you simultaneously. And this is the stairwell for the staff. There's actually no light in this stairwell. We'll go up there in a second, but before that, I want to show you the dumbwaiter for the kitchen, which is actually on the top floor. Watch till the end, because the kitchen, in my opinion, I mean, you'll see when we get there. But we are going to start the tour in a bit of a different way, heading down to the basement first. We'll have to navigate this very carefully. The stairs are slippery. I actually almost say, we walked down here the first time, Blake, so watch out on the bottom one. So here, we have all of the HVAC, the water tanks, and at the very end here of the mechanical, look at this room. Welcome to your wine cellar. And we need lighting down here because actually, Look at that, no more phone flashlight. But this is the wine cellar, and it is pretty ridiculous because you can see the actual beams holding up the house. Look how thick these beams are. So yeah, I do believe that this was actually built, deconstructed, and shipped across the Atlantic just based on like, look how old this is. And then again, you have the red brick everywhere, a little fireplace with a religious motif over top. Actually, what? That's a guy holding a head, is that not?
Yes.
That's a woman holding a head. We've got what looks like a monk here with a cross. On the far wall, the wine racks. There's actually a back exit from the wine cellar. And look at this staircase. This is definitely not the original staircase. This might be the steepest stairwell in the city, which then leads to this solarium at the back of the house. Look how beautiful this is. Look at the metalwork here. You have this huge seashell gargoyle fountain front and center here with a little pool at the bottom, and then this beautiful glasswork here built into the limestone, which leads us, check this out, the barrel vaulted ceiling great room in this Gothic townhouse. So we have 20-foot ceilings in here, and if you look up at these ceilings, you have the most intricate, beautiful working of these patterns, which I would guess represent the flower of life. This is all sacred geometry. It's very aesthetic to the eye. At the very end of this great room, we have a coat of arms. On the walls, you have mahogany millwork going at least, I'd say, I don't know off the top of my head, that's at least probably 16 feet. And then at the bottom here, look at this original radiator running the entire length of this great room, built right in here. And this, you can't not mention the fact that there is like an 8-foot tall fireplace in this home. Like, look how large this is. And then again, carved in here, you have the flower of life, all of that. Again, this is a wood burning fireplace. It's actually working. And then at the far end of the great room, more of that mahogany, we have 2 doors which lead right to where we started the tour in the main entry area. And now for the cool stuff. Not that what we just showed you wasn't cool, but look at this staircase. First off, look at the door and the woodwork here. Look how ornate that is. So I want to thank the sponsor of this week's episode, BetterHelp. And in doing so, I wanted to share something from my own personal journey working with a therapist. So the thing about therapy, a lot of times when someone hears the word therapist, they think, oh, something's wrong. I need to see a therapist because this is wrong or that's wrong. But that's the farthest from the truth. Knowing thyself is the ultimate power one can achieve in this life. Knowing why you react to certain things how you do, knowing things that set you off. The incredible thing about therapy is that if you do find that right person, that right therapist, you can unlock your greatest superpowers. And that's where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp is the largest online platform for telehealth therapy, meaning it's all virtual, none of it's in person, it's through the phone. Therapy, like I've mentioned, is a lot like dating. You're gonna try out a few therapists before you find the right one, and that can sometimes be discouraging, but you just have to know that when you do find that person that you feel comfortable, who has the wisdom, the development and knowledge, who aligns with what you're looking to achieve, the results can be quite astounding. BetterHelp's given us a code for a discount, which I've linked down below in the description. Again, BetterHelp, thank you for sponsoring this episode. And if you are watching this, see a therapist. Even if there's nothing wrong in your life, there's always value in talking to someone who's not going to judge you. That's betterhelp.com/ERIK. Now back to the tour. And then the staircase here. This is how you can tell the age really is by the wood. Not that age is a bad thing in my opinion, but you can really feel that this house has some weight to it. And here, even in the millwork, you have all of these unique carvings, which I wish the original owner was alive to actually tell us the meaning behind most of these, because they actually are quite faded, some of them, but just so intricate here. And the staircase actually has a landing with a balcony overlooking the great room now, so you can get the perspective of how large the great room is from up here. You could have a string quartet up here back in the day while your guests are down there dancing. There's really pretty endless possibilities with this place. So back in here, this is actually now the dining room, and I want to take a moment to really look at the details in the millwork. So these are actually boars carved in at the very top of the millwork, and the boar was actually the most ferocious animal in the Roman pantheon, symbolic of a hard hunt. The boar was a very hard animal to get. So here in the dining room, you have boars all along. You also have more sacred geometry. Flower of life right there. So symbolic of the fabric of the universe. What else here? Then at the very end, again, you have more of that beautiful limestone with, now you can really get close-ups on the coats of arms here on these stained glass windows. And then here, look, you even have Isaac, it says. It feels like we're in a church, doesn't it? It feels, there's a reverence and a weight to this structure that I hope we're conveying in the camera. Based off of all that we're speaking about with the symbolism, I want to note that it definitely appears that people back in the day, I hate that term, it's kind of very general, back in the day, but it seems like they were closer with God. And God isn't something you really talk about in a home tour on YouTube or on social media in general, but just based off of all the symbolism, specifically the flower of life, that's everywhere. Anything pre-war will have those symbols of flower of life. So off of the dining room, this would be, I guess, like the little service kitchen. So you wouldn't prepare the full meal in here because you have your dumbwaiter, which again, like I mentioned, the kitchen is at the very top floor. But this is just a service kitchen off of this dining room, which is, again, it has a cathedral-like quality, because then even from here, look, the coat of arms line up through the windows here over that balcony. And I just noticed this. This is the double-headed eagle, which is the symbol of the Holy Roman Empire in Germany. And don't ask me why I know all this. It's like one of my interests, just looking up like symbols and occult things. One of my guilty pleasures is actually really looking into the history of these homes that we're touring. Hence why nowadays I'm only filming homes like this. I don't think I could look at another white box unless it's architecturally significant. Halfway up on the landing, check this out. This is actually a connector to the service stairwell. Like we mentioned at the very start of the tour, there are two stairwells, and this is a connecting door to the main stairwell that runs up the entire length of this house. Now up on the third floor, this entire floor is technically the owner's floor, and this would be the owner's bedroom in this Gothic townhouse. And your eye goes right back to this far wall that is entire glass here, again, with more of those painted coat of arms here on the windows. You actually have a nice bounce here. We're facing north, but the bounce off of that brick wall across is giving us a lot of light in this space. What else? More coats of arms in all the plastering here. It has a wood fireplace. Actually, look at this. I've never seen bricks stacked like that. Look how pretty that is. And it was at this exact moment that the audio cut out for a bit. And from my own personal experience filming in these older homes and from some research, freestanding mason stone structures, they tend to actually heavily interfere with wireless transmission. And in the owner's bathroom, the light was actually out, and I was actually showing off some of the original finishes here. Original soaking tub, original faucets. What does all this say about the room? No lights, no audio. As soon as we left, audio came back. This is what I was talking about at the start of the video. This is an intercom from, I'm guessing, the 80s. Comment below if you know the exact date. But this is FaceTime before FaceTime. Whereas there's no camera, but you can see them, they can't see you. I love that they have that in here. Behind Blake, off of the owner's suite, this is staged as what would be the den or the library. And in here, you just have this mahogany everywhere. On the walls, you have the woodwork on the ceiling. And just look at it's just so well done. It's so well done. Even the hinges here are ornate. At the far end, you've got the water closet here. And then wait till you see this. So we're actually getting some nice sunlight now, so we are facing south. So this room gets sun the entire day here. But I want to show you this. Check this out. This is essentially a bathhouse in this Gothic townhouse. So you have a sunken, deep set tub here. Even look at the ornateness on the radiator. You could turn this into a steam room. I actually see a little, you see that, Blake? Is that for the dumbwaiter or for the, yeah, that's for the dumbwaiter. So you could have someone cook you a meal, send it up in the dumbwaiter, be sitting in this tub right here, getting a sweat going on. It's pretty crazy that they kept this. I've never seen a tub like this in a house. Another look at that den here with that woodwork. I have to say the agent did a pretty solid job with the staging. Even look at that, they left a pair of Pradas right here. They gave it a little bit of a modern touch because it is such a historic home where you would need, again, like I mentioned, you would have to be such a specific buyer who was obsessed with history to want this place. Someone like myself, if I had the cash, whew. So now we're going up to the fourth floor, and again, another look into the second stairwell. And actually we have some light now. You'll see in a second. there's a skylight above us, but we're not quite there yet. This is technically floor number 4, which is the guest floor. So you have a landing off of that stairwell, first guest bedroom, and just take a peek at this. Again, more of that beautiful millwork, more of that beautiful window work. And the view out of this window is very important for a specific reason. So if you look out that window, that is a 17-foot wide vacant lot in front of us. So if there was a home here, your sunlight would be blocked, but because there isn't a home, and I'm guessing it's grandfathered in, you have all this sunlight on a northern facing exposure, which is super rare. And you can see even just from the natural light how bright it is in the space. So we were chatting off camera, and this home, given its age, you'd think, oh, is it sturdy? This home is so sturdy that even the closets, there's a piece of paneling missing here, the closets have brick supporting the closet. When I say they don't build homes like this anymore, they truly don't, and I think it's a combination of cutting costs, saving time, maybe a lack of patience, who knows, but that's why I love filming homes like this, because they're so well built and they're so full of character. I mean, this is just a little walk-in closet here. Back out into the landing, get a look at this bathroom. So this is the shared bathroom on this floor. Look how stunning this is. Look at this like metallic original wallpapering here, original faucet there. Back when this was built, there were no fans, so a little draft for you if you're doing some serious business in this bathroom. Into the hallway again. We've got a closet right here, just for storage. Nothing too crazy. Another one of those 1980s FaceTime devices. If I bought this, I would keep that, just to have that, because it's so unique. And this is the second bedroom here on the 4th floor. And the first thing I noticed in this room are these double wide planks below our feet. That's another sign to show that this is indeed an original home. You can hear those beautiful creaking sounds. You've got a water closet separate in the back of the room here. And then you have the bathroom off to the side here with that sunlight coming in now. We are facing south. Interestingly enough, the radiator is in the shower above it. It's kind of unique. The thing about a home like this that I love is the person who does buy this is most likely going to keep all the original woodwork, the finishings, just because that's what gives it its soul. Yeah, you can modernize it, add in, central air, update the heating, but it's really the details in the craftsmanship, in my opinion, that give it the soul of the house. And speaking of soul, at the very top of the home, look at this huge skylight that is flooding in light down the staircase here. So now for the first time, because of this skylight, it runs the entire length of the stairwell. You can now see into the service stairwell. And back in the day, I was thinking you would have to be pretty fit to be serving in this house, because this is what, 6 stories, and there's no elevator, but most likely whoever does buy this would probably rip this out and put in a pretty sizable elevator in this stairwell shaft, because it is pretty large and you could probably put a decent elevator in here. But now we are at the top floor, where we have, once again, the mic getting major interference from something in this house. And at this point, we're at the top, so it can't be the stones holding up the house. This is actually the dumbwaiter I mentioned to bring the food down to the lower levels of the house. But again, this is the kitchen at the top of the house. Typically, this would be in the lower level, in the basement, out of sight. I'm probably talking about the sunlight coming in. I also love the floors with the terracotta, with these little symbols inlaid between them. Then I believe the backsplash is all original tiling. You can see this has all been modernized. This is stainless steel here on the countertop. Then again, very out of the usual to have such high ceiling heights on the top floor, let alone it being in the kitchen. This is the kind of kitchen you would find in a country home rather than a townhouse in New York City. Off of the kitchen, this is where we have the laundry room, all modern appliances, countertop space here to do your wash, pretty standard business in this room. Then back out into the hallway, this is again the service floor. So this is where the staff of the house would live. This is a shot of one of the bedrooms here. And then in the other one, I'll actually jump in to give a bit of perspective on the size of the space, which in my opinion, pretty large room. We have a window facing north, again, getting that bounce off of that vacant lot down below us. And then heading back into the hallway, because this is the staff floor, there's only one bathroom, but check out this wallpaper. Look how cool this is. This is the complete opposite of that shift towards the millennial gray that you find in a lot of the houses that are built today. I mean, I just think this is so cool. I just think this is so beautiful, again, having the flower of life in the bathroom. And in the center of the hallway, the ladder to the attic was left down. So of course, I had to test it out, make sure it could hold my weight. And as I made my way up to the top, the audio magically... Look at this! We do have rooftop access. This was a pleasant surprise for us. We actually didn't know we could access the rooftop. Check out the crest on the very top of the house. I can't see that. I know it's there. I saw it from the street, but now you can get a proper view of the architecture of this Gothic Flemish home that was shipped from Amsterdam to New York City. I want you to comment down below, what did you think of this tour? What do you think of the Landmark series? If you have any specific old homes you want me to film. With that, I hope you're well watching this, and I will see you in the next episode.